Welcome
Aquaba.
to the podcast.
Aquaba. So
Bienvenue.
I thought bienvenue sounds Ponzi. Aquaba sounds. Who are they?
Who are they?
Aquabes.
But yeah, so it's Easter today.
Yeah.
Have you had any chocolate eggs so far?
Not today. That I know of.
I've been given one, but I haven't eaten it yet.
And it's on this desk.
It's on the desk. Kit Kat Chunky. I came down this morning. My mum woke me up at 8:30 a.m. for my haircut. She took me. Because it's Easter Sunday. We came downstairs. Me and Mike. Because I went home for Easter for the weekend.
She woke you up to.
She woke me up at 8:30 for my haircut.
How should we describe your hair?
My brother said that from the neck up, I look like somebody who left the army a month ago. And from the neck down, I look like someone who'd never be allowed in the army.
Do you know what? You look like someone... Have you seen Shine? About the piano
Jeffrey
player?
Rush, yeah.
Yeah. You look like someone who would occasionally be let out of the house to do something. I don't know. You look simple. Like,
I think I look
simple.
rather dashing. I think I look at my best when my hair is at my shortest. Is at its shortest.
No.
Okay, well...
You look like you have severe learning difficulties.
That's just all the time, though. But my mum wakes me up, and she says, oh no, first I'll just go to the shower, to have a shower, and then she goes...
It's Easter Sunday, it's time for your haircut.
She wakes me up, she says, wake up, rise and shine, how did you sleep? I said, not very well, I kept waking up. She said, oh, sorry to hear that, up you get. And then I went to the shower for my morning shower, and she says, you'll have your shower after your haircut. I said, I didn't realise I was having a haircut.
You want to wash your hair before you have a haircut?
No, after, because you get covered in hair. During the haircut, you get covered in hair. You can't have 2 showers in one day, and if you have to choose, although, to
have your haircut, when you go to get, look, someday when you go to pay for a haircut somewhere, right? You're gonna, well, you're gonna have someone wash your hair.
Well, I've had that, and I love that, but at least they're paying for it.
Like, they're paying for it.
They're paying for the shampoo and the hot water.
You're paying for it.
Well, yeah, I paid them the money, but it's their water.
It's not just something like, there's a sideline where
they run a whole nother...
We love cutting your hair, but this is for us.
Do you know, when I was a teenager in school, when I was bored...
What a boring lie.
When I was bored, I'd have showers. So I remember one time my family all went away for New Year.
At the school?
No, just if I was at home on my own and I was bored, that's what I did to alleviate boredom. And one time, all my friends were busy. It was around New Year's. I think it was New Year's Eve actually. Everyone was out. My family had all gone on holiday. I was in the home alone. I didn't know what any of my friends were doing. During the course of that day, I had 2 baths and 3 showers. That's how bored I was. And then I watched Monty Python's Meaning of Life and I ate scampi and sweet corn. And that was the worst New Year's Eve of my life.
It's like that's how you were preparing yourself for the new year.
I wanted to be so clean. Symbolic.
Have you ever stuck anything up your arse?
No.
Neither have I. But because I was talking to Pat and a couple other comics, and they couldn't believe that I'd never even stuck like a biro in the bath up my arse. Yeah.
No,
apparently everyone's done it.
I haven't.
I haven't done it.
I've put a hair grip on my penis.
What? Put a hair grip on you? What's that? Put them in the...
Well, like that women use for their hair to clasp it. When I was about 3, I remember this vividly.
Oh, no.
I was very young, 3 or 4. I was in the bath in London, and I got a hair grip. It's that, I didn't know what anything was for, so I was sort of playing.
Yeah.
I got this hair grip, put it on there, immediately regretted it and went, oh, that hurts. But then, because I was young and I had small hands, I couldn't then manipulate the hinge to open it, so I just had to pull it off. I just had to yank it off. It was agony.
That's so...
It was agony. But
I've had my banjo string broken twice, and
I've heard it's dreadful.
It's terrifying.
Really? A lot of blood, isn't there?
It's bloody. I won't tell you this. There's a very good story of when I got my banjo, but
Oh no, you've told me this story.
Yeah, but I can't. There's
my friend at uni, Owen Hunter Jenkins. Before he went to uni, he made a vow.
Owen Hunter Jenkins.
Yeah, he made a vow that him and some friends they all had to get circumcised, and the last one to do it had to pay each of them like 500 quid or something. So it was this massive bet they did, and then we kept saying, "When are you going to do it?" And then in second year, he was getting off with some supermodel and broke his string, and then had to be circumcised medically for it to be saved.
John and I were talking about the idea of needing circumcision.
Yeah,
because like it comes in cycles, a sort of tightness. I don't know.
What?
I haven't had it in a while.
What comes in cycles?
Needing a circumcision.
Oh right.
I don't know, but we were talking about this. But we like the idea of you're on the surgery slab table. What
slab?
You're
on the mortuary slab.
You're in the theatre, and
the theatre.
You know what I mean? The surgery theatre. But you're just about, and it's about to get a circumcision, or you think you are, and just as you're passing out, you hear the surgeon go, well, he just wants the balls on the front, doesn't he? You wake up, it's just funny, all he's done is he's put your balls on the front of your penis. But it's so painful that you have no respite. So do you know that ride at Alton Towers, Air?
I've never been.
Where you there's this one, but basically you're kind of sat down, and then the back goes up, so you sort of got like Superman going forward. It makes you go forward. Yeah. Like you just go on. Me and John have just had our like balls at the front treatment, and then we're on air all the time because that's the only way we can sleep. But today we're doing show and tell.
We're doing show and tell today.
Well, no, we got to talk about Belinda.
I haven't finished about my Easter eggs. My mum says, I get out of the shower, she says, I'm literally about to turn it on, and she goes, you have your shower after your haircut. So I come downstairs, and on the table there's 3 Easter eggs, a Kit Kat, a Dairy Milk, and an Aero. My sister takes the Dairy Milk, and my mum says, do you want Kit Kat or Aero? And I say to my brother, what do you want? He says, I'll have whatever you don't want. I prefer Kit Kats. This is really boring, but I prefer Kit Kats to Aeros, but the Aero egg was bigger. So I said, I'll have the Kit Kat, and you can have the big Aero egg. So it looked generous, but actually I don't like Aeros.
Charming insight into your private health, Jules.
And then I had my haircut. So yeah, we're doing show and tell.
No, all right. No, we've got to talk about Monday. Right. We did a preview on Monday, and it was at the
preview.
Yeah, it was at the Camden Ed, and Heighton did.
I'm there again on the 22nd of April. This probably won't have gone out by then, but if you want to come along, it's free.
I'll have done the marathon by then.
Will you? How's that going?
I went for a run on Friday. I did a half marathon.
Yeah, wow.
And
it's 13 mile.
It is 13.2, Jules.
Okay.
And but I did 13.5.
Wow.
Well, I had to, because I had to get home after I finished it. But I started, it took me about 2.25 hours, and I started off in a really bad mood, and my frontal lobes were just, off the charts, and I was just thinking and analysing everything. And you have to do like some kind of mundane activity that doesn't really require too much. Before that part, the front part of your head can kind of shut off. Yeah. And so I went through that process for about half an hour of just slowly getting up, just because my mind was just whirling, thinking about everything. I was getting angry at stuff just on this run, and then, but by an hour and a half, I started to get runner's high.
I've never had that.
Well, run for an hour and a half, you get runner's high, and I decided to become a star.
How's that going for you since Friday?
I've dressed differently.
You're dressing exactly the same today.
I've worn the same, but I've worn this every day since Friday.
Your hair is different today. It's more. You look, if anything, today you look more than ever like Bradley James from Merlin. King
Thank
Arthur
you.
from Merlin.
Thank you.
And he's a star. I mean, he's on prime time. Prime time BBC on Saturdays. Not anymore. They've discontinued it. But
Rolf
still.
Harris hasn't been arrested, has he?
Yeah. Apparently it's now been made official. Apparently on Friday he was arrested, and at the time the BBC weren't reporting it, so because it hadn't been made official here. But apparently all the world media were identifying it as Rolf Harris. So I don't know for certain at the moment whether it's been made official. If it has, then I'm sorry for discussing it here. I'm just going by what I've seen on the internet. But allegedly, an 82-year-old man who was arrested on, I was going to say married on Friday, who was arrested on Friday under the Operation Yew Tree thing, has been identified by the world media, not necessarily by the UK media, as Rolf Harris, and he's being questioned in connection with Operation Yew Tree. And I worked with him as a child.
You did.
If it is Rolf Harris, I worked with Rolf Harris, as did a number of my school cohorts, I was going to say colleagues, my school cohorts.
Right.
We must have been about 7, and we worked with Rolf Harris. And I'd just like to say, for the record, he was absolutely charming, and didn't do a thing. Didn't do a thing to us. And I remember actually, I came in, these are all my memories of Rolf Harris. I came in, I didn't know who he was at the time, but I looked into the booth and a guy called James said, "There he is." I saw this kindly old gentleman at the mixing desk and he waved. And then we went through, he came in, we did all the recording session with him. Some of it was quite tedious. And then I went for lunch, I had a packet of mini cheddars and a strawberry juice. And then he came and sat beside me, and said, "What do you got?" I said, "Strawberry juice." I let him have some, and he went, "Oh, that's lovely." And then he sort of did that for all the kids. He just went around making them all feel welcome.
Asking them all what they had, and then trying a bit.
Yeah.
Right.
And then that's all I remember. And
do you know what? Like, if he was because of this whole Yew Tree thing.
Yeah.
Like that's if you told me that without the Yew Tree thing, him going around trying everyone's packed lunch would sound really benign. Yeah,
but I remember it as a lovely thing, as a bonding thing. But now it sounds sinister. Now that Paul has been cast over it, Paul Pall.
He tried your.
He drank your juice.
The monster.
But actually, it was just. I mean, the thing, if
he made you do how many takes? The monster.
The most annoying. We did Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and we were doing all the famous like a light bulb and light Monopoly, all those little call and response bits that you do in the joke version. You know those?
No.
You'd do Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer had a very shiny nose. We'd all go like a light bulb. And all the other reindeers wouldn't let him join in other reindeer games. We'd go like Monopoly. Though we'd been briefed. We'd been briefed on those responses by our music teacher Barry Booth. Barry Booth, the music teacher, who I think was Rolf Harris's agent at the time.
You'd been
briefed us on these.
Your music teacher was
Rolf Harris's agent,
and he was providing him with children.
Don't make this worse than it is. It was a charming thing. I've still got the CD.
Nothing I can do will give those children their childhood back.
But so we did these responses. He sang Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer had a bit, and then we went like a light bulb. And we did this for every line. We had a response. So used to laugh and call him names like Pinocchio, we'd say. And then for every single one, after we said it, after we did the response, he'd then react as though he didn't know we were going to do it. So we'd go like Pinocchio, and then he'd go, "Wah!" Yeah, essentially, he'd go, "What? Oh, Pinocchio, right? Yeah, because of the nose. Come on, kids, back to the top and try again." And that happened every single line. But they've kept it in the edit. The final cut version on the CD of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer is, I think, 6.5 minutes long, because it includes all these moments of him going, "I didn't know you were going to do that. Let's go back to the top and try again." Every single line. I remember I was so fed up.
And he wanted this to be like a Christmas #1. Do you know,
7 minute
that like Cliff Richard still writes? He still goes for it, like the Christmas, but no one
just never wins.
Well, yeah, because we don't have really the. Do we even have the charts? I don't know.
We have Christmas charts, but it's always X Factor, isn't it?
Right,
X Factor always wins the Christmas #1.
In the noughties, he had a song called 21st Century Christmas. It's like, oh, you're spreading yourself thin, man. And it's like, there's a video of him on YouTube going, have I written a Christmas to his audience? Have I written Of course I have. And then he goes into 21st century. And the lyrics are, it's like someone who's really desperate and out of touch, basically. I mean, I love Cliff, and the only really good impression I can do is of Cliff.
Yeah.
My friends. All right. How many people can say I played Wimbledon?
I did quite a good John Goodman I learned this weekend. Listen to this. Wait. Hoorah, John Goodman. John Goodman. That's John Goodman. You know Monsters, Inc.?
People are listening to this. No, but the thing is, he's done his Christmas song.
The borrowers.
Right. So he's done his Christmas song, and it's but it's 21st. There are lyrics like 21st century Christmas mind. One of the lyrics are, "We'll microwave some popcorn, put on a DVD, fax Tiny Tim a message for blessing you and me." And it's like he's tried to write the ultimate modern Christmas song, but
failed
miserably.
20 years out of date.
But like. There's there's fax. It has got his fax. Tiny Tim a message for blessing you and me.
Even DVD.
Right, first of all,
Tiny
Tim didn't exist. If he did, he's long dead.
Yeah.
Right, he was a sickly child.
Yeah.
But faxing him. You mental. And then the chorus is, "We'll have a first light star bright." So, right. No, there are words. 21st century Christmas. Ayo. No, that's like the other people, other singers going, ayo, do. First light. Fax Tiny Tim. It's awful. But it's like, but you're watching it going, what are you doing, man? You've given up.
Listen to that.
Huh?
Have you heard Jethro Tull's Christmas album?
No.
It's quite good.
Okay.
It's got something called Birthday Card at Christmas.
Fucking hell.
It goes, "Got a birthday card at Christmas, made me think of Jesus Christ." And then it goes on and on about Jesus for a while. Even though I didn't think they were particularly religious. I thought he was pro-spirituality but anti-church. Anyway, we were at the Camden Head on
Right,
Monday.
so we're at the Camden... Bloody hell. I've noticed the theme to recording these. We start like abortively slow.
Yeah, and then when we get into this,
and then when we get to stuff we do, and then
when we get to the stuff we planned,
and then we do another half hour.
Yeah,
and then we do another 5 minutes where we don't know we're being recorded, and then we go in the lift down, and we're really funny on the lift down.
We think of stuff we should have said.
Yeah, but. So we were at the
Camden Head
and we were doing the previews, heightened it is, and then there was a really shy front row.
They were okay.
No, they weren't.
Basically, I made
they
the
weren't
error
okay.
of,
they were talking all the way through.
We had about 10 people in who were all friends of mine who'd come to see it, or friends of friends. And I should have just done it to
all
them.
Girls.
10's a decent number. 10's a decent number. But I thought, it'd be nice to have a few more. So I got this group up from downstairs who would. They were just there to drink and have fun, and that was stupid. I should have done it to just 10 people. I shouldn't have got those guys up. But so they were disruptive. They were okay, but
they weren't okay.
They were disruptive. They were disruptive.
Why are you defending them?
I don't defend them.
They were absolutely. They were awful.
You hated them.
Yeah.
You hated
them. Also, but I knew, and this is the kind of man I am.
Yeah.
I knew, and also I couldn't be asked to do what I'd planned on doing.
Yeah.
I knew you were going to do your character-y preview.
Yeah.
So you weren't really going to be responding to the audience too much.
That's true.
So I spent half an hour shouting at them.
That's good. You sacrificed yourself for me. That's good of you.
Great time doing it.
Sam Gamgee.
I don't know who that is.
But
the thing is, you brought all those girls, right?
I didn't bring them. They arrived
of their own volition.
They arrived, yeah.
There was the back row was 7 girls
about that
who didn't know each other, who were all there to see you.
Yeah, and some I'd like to. And some of them I hadn't seen in years.
Yeah,
one of them in particular I hadn't seen in 13 years. So they were just really old friends. It was lovely.
I added.
Yes, it's just lovely to see them. These girls turn up, and as far as I'm concerned, great. Some good friends have turned up, but because you.
I thought, now what would be a good way to start? And I went through each one of them, asking, would seeing you on stage make them want to sleep with you?
And the thing was, I was just at the back sort of trying to ignore all this.
But
the worst thing is, they all systematically just said no.
No,
which I knew they would, because they were all friends of mine I'd known for 10 years. That's not what I was aiming for. But just for you to have engendered a situation where one by one every woman in the room pointedly says, no, I would not sleep with that man.
No.
Regardless of whether that was my aim.
That's not what happened. That's not what happened. They said, I wasn't planning on it.
Yeah,
but what happened?
Because
you know, like the girls copped out. Like as soon as the third one said I wasn't planning on it, the other four just stole that line.
Yeah.
But this is the thing: the first girl was the one who you've now seen a couple of times.
Yeah.
She gave an ambiguous answer.
She said, "I'm quite fickle."
There we go. Which was hot. But then she came with. I thought they all knew each other. That's
Yeah, no.
But she came with her housemate. Now,
can we name?
Now this is.
Let's not name her.
This is the gold, right? Right. She okay. She was just wearing black.
Yeah.
And but she was wearing a very low cut top. So basically, all
to the navel, almost
to the navel, yeah. And she had massive tits. Right, but the point I want to make is she was showing them off, like it was consciously, ridiculously just showing them off, and I drew attention to it.
Yeah,
what did I say?
You said you laughed.
Well, no, because I stood at the back and then she turned around, and then it was just ridiculous because they were just because she's a portly lady, bless her.
Oh,
and she was using what she had, and I'm on her side.
What she had.
And I didn't.
You ended up chatting to her a lot, though.
I was being your wingman, mate.
Well, but you got to know her. You got to know her quite well. She was nice.
She was nice. She was mental.
So Karl and this girl are chatting, and then this girl goes away for a bit and comes back with this Spanish guy. He was a bit older. He must have been in his 30s, like mid-30s.
Yeah. He was just wandering around with a drink.
Yeah, he was wandering around. So she grabbed him.
No, we didn't know he was Spanish.
Oh, shit.
I went off to Lou or something, and she
got this guy.
She'd come back with this guy, and so you and your girl are talking on, you're getting on famously about Sainsbury's blurbs, and I'm just sat across the table going, how do these people meet each other? But it was really cute. And I didn't know that you'd already talked to her on Facebook and all that.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was saying...
before Christmas.
I said, I reflected on this. Like I said, I'll let you go first. I knew it. Yeah, I didn't know that you knew it. I would never have said that. I said, I'll let you go first.
But this guy...
Do you know, I more or less just said, I'll give you 45 minutes.
This guy who sat down with the other girl...
She
sat down for about literally under a minute.
The chesty lady brought back this guy to the table, and I was sat opposite, sort of, you were there, just bored out of my head, because I was broke, and I kept asking you to get me a drink every 5 minutes.
I had no
That's
change.
fine, but that was the state of play. And then I started talking to you three, and then the Vicar of Dibley next to me starts saying, are you going to involve...
Get this guy involved. No, first he tried to touch her up. Within 30 seconds of sitting down.
30 seconds, she sat down, she leant over and said to me, I've just had to move his hand away from my vagina. Right.
Like 30 seconons after he joined us.
Yeah.
And then she said, you're not talking to him enough, you have to talk to him. And we said, well, we haven't brought him over. We're having our own conversation.
So we opened up.
So she said, let's all have a big open conversation, let's everyone be involved. And then so I turned to him, I said, whereabouts in Spain are you from?
No, you didn't say that. You didn't know he was from Spain.
I forget what I said.
You are fucking up the story.
I'm sorry.
The joke's not good enough for you to be fucking it up so much. It's basically we said, all right, so what do you want to talk about? And he goes, I don't speak English. But that's it.
That's it. And they saw that coming.
Do you know what? Like literally, I've got that. That is in the top left corner of the things that I put for us to write down, and it was rubbish.
We haven't done the end of that story.
We haven't. Well, thank God today's show and tell.
We haven't done the end of that story.
Go on,
where they went.
Oh, yes. They went... the two girls that we saw at the preview on Monday, they said, we're going to a casino now.
Yeah.
But we had to go get the night bus.
Great.
And they said, that's cool.
Fun.
Go have fun. And it was just opposite the road, and it's called Casino.
This is one of those little arcades. One of those little old men's arcades. Apparently they were there till like 3. Casino.
She seemed nice, though.
Which
Your
one?
one?
Oh, they're both lovely.
Both lovely. Because you know they're going to be listening to this. You know that. She's very nice.
Yeah.
Right. Today's show and tell.
John.
John.
So I went back to Salisbury, where I grew up, for the weekend, because my family are moving soon, and I had to go through all my old stuff and decide what I wanted to keep. And I brought some bits back. I got some photos of myself first, just in case we want to use this for the trailer.
Just to describe it for the people listening, the photos also look like younger versions of you.
Yeah. So this is me at 5. Me at 5.
But you at 5, you've got a bowl cut with... Have you got blonde highlights?
No, I just had blonde hair.
That's nice.
I was blonde as a kid.
Yeah. You look like you could have grown up to be a woman in this one, actually. But, you actually look like... I was at a party on Friday, and there was a woman who was in her mid-30s who looked like she was in her mid-40s. Yeah. This looks like this could be a photo of her. So that's interesting, isn't it?
This is me at 10. I've started to grow into my face.
You look like little Hitler there. Like a really smug... It's like, because that's just... You're not smiling. You are smiling, but you're not smiling. You got massive ears. You still... I can tell your mum's done your haircut.
I think my hair's quite good in this one. This is me at 16.
Women would think you look sweet, but men would think you're a prick.
That's me at 16. That's me at 16 there. That's me at 10.
You at 16.
Me at 10.
You're very skinny. You got 2 spots on your chin.
Yeah, that's a shame.
You still got weird hair. But do you know it said 2004, 2005? I thought that was like a...
My death.
Yeah.
I was 1 when that was taken.
But no, you're actually smiling in this one. It looks like you probably don't have any friends, but you're a nice guy.
That's a pretty accurate summation. But, okay, right.
All my photos are horrible, mate, so don't worry about that.
Some of the things I've brought. This is my school report from 6th form when I left. So this was 2007, I was 18. Just read the penultimate sentence of this box here that was my tutor's
What is this
comments.
one? This is
my 6th form report.
Right.
Penultimate sentence in that box.
His contributions to M House.
Oh, no, sorry, I meant the last sentence.
Okay.
Penultimate just before that one.
We will remember him.
We will remember him. It's like I've died.
No, but I like that sentence. It's in musical and dramatic ways, he has enriched the life of BWS, and I particularly thank him for his work in West Side Story as Riff, which was impressive. His contributions to M House have been as positive as they were idiosyncratic. We will remember him.
So that's that one. But
that's all right.
More than that, right? I found this is my old folder with all my old schoolwork in it, and I want to read some of the bits of work that I've got. So this is my favourite because we had to do a project where we had to write a piece of creative writing about an old person, and we had to research our old person and then write about them. So I used my granddad, and I remember writing this from just a place of total love and respect and affection. But reading it back, it comes off really passive aggressive, and there's loads of judgments made about him in it. So here we go. I was about 10 when I wrote this. My granddad. My granddad looks cuddly and has soft skin. His eyes are watery and look happy. They are kind-looking eyes with thin red rings around them. He has wrinkles on his face and gets even more when he smiles his big jolly smile. He wears glasses and has a walking stick to help him walk his slow, shuffling walk. He has thin white lips and a stubby chin. He doesn't have many teeth left and he has shaky hands. He is nearly bald, and the hair that is there is white. He's a bit chubby and wears blue trousers and a brown wool jumper most of the time. He likes carving wood a lot, and he often makes me wooden weapons. He also likes to watch old films on TV. This is the best bit. He loves staying at home when most other people in the house go to the co-op. He tells awful jokes and some good ones which amuse me. Sometimes he talks about boring things, but most of the time he's fun and cuddly. Sometimes he doesn't let me take sweets from the toffee tin. Every time I go to visit him, he says, "Haven't you grown, lad?" He's really, really fun. He was in the Navy, and all around the house are model ships. Some of the ships are the one he sailed on himself, the HMS Nelson. And then we had to draw a picture of him. I drew that.
Oh my God! All right, let's get to work describing this. Okay, he looks like a bleached testicle. You got to put a photo of this up or something. This is.
Oh my God!
This is. How old are you? When you did this?
I was about 10.
This is. Oh my God! Okay, first of all, when you've done the eyes, he's got massive eyes, but he's got loads of red lines. Bloodshot. He's got bloodshot eyes. He's got the complexion of a Campino that's just been mugged. He looks very angry. Oh my God!
Oh dear. But I've got a couple of others as well. I've got some stories in here. Do you want to hear some stories?
Oh, should we go? Do you want to do back and forth?
Yeah. That's a better idea.
All right. What have I got here? Okay. These are cats, right? These are gold cards from when I went to primary school in Vauxhall.
Right.
And so there's about 10 of these in the 4 years.
What do you get them for? Like for good,
we're about to find
work.
out. We're about to find out, right? Okay.
Is it like distinctions?
Basically, they progress towards something if you put them in date order.
Right.
Gold card, presented to Karl. They always spell my name wrong. Each one spells my name wrong. Presented to Karl for improved playtime behaviour. So I get a gold card for that all the time, right?
Yeah.
And
I like that they're just yellow bits of paper.
Yeah, but I've got a gold card, and for some reason I've got
sellotape.
Sellotape does nothing. But so I got about half a dozen of those, and also says improved. But then it suddenly becomes presented to Karl Schultz for a superb playtime behaviour.
Ooh.
Right? And so it's like I've progressed.
Superb.
But I don't. I was trying to remember, what was I like at a playground that I was so superb? Because it actually, she uses the same word. It's either for, presented to Karl for a, but then it's got here, presented to Karl for a superb playtime behaviour, for a super playtime behaviour.
Improved playtime
super playtime behaviour. Improved. Super. What was I doing?
Are they all templates? Are they all written exactly the same? Are they photocopies?
No,
they are different. Okay.
But I don't know what I was doing it.
Could you ask them?
Do you know what? That would be a great programme if I went back now and found
Find out what you did at playtime.
That was so super.
That was so good.
Two weird things happened to me on the way here on the train.
Here?
Yeah. First of all, it was an empty carriage, right? And there was twice an empty carriage on the way. There was two trains, getting the one from Barking to West Ham, and on that one, I just sat down, and then like 6 really hot girls just sat around me, and I was just beaming. I was really happy, right? But they noticed how happy I was, and they knew that I was happy because I was surrounded by 6. So they started laughing. So then I started laughing, and for a good 5 minutes we were all just laughing.
Sounds bizarre.
Yeah, but
I'd be too shy. I'd just keep my thoughts to myself.
I'm sick of pretending.
I'd be happy at the back of my brain.
I'm sick of pretending I don't have supreme confidence.
I saw that on Facebook.
Yeah, got a load of likes.
Did it?
Yeah. Well, it was nice. A lot of people went, that's never something I would associate with you, or all this kind of thing, like a sarky, which is heartening.
Yeah.
Heartening. But also, the other one was I was...
I once saw a guy get on the train, sit down next to a woman, and just immediately start getting off with her.
I've not done that.
I think they must have known one another, but there weren't even any words. There was no like, all right, literally just sat down. And for a second, I just thought he was like total player. But I think they'd planned it, which if anything makes it more sad.
Maybe it was like like
fate.
Married couples trying to keep their love life interesting.
Like just get on the train and surprise me kind of thing.
Yeah, get off.
Makes it more depressing. At the time, I was impressed, and now I feel sorry for him. Actually, I feel sorry for him.
This is a newspaper clipping. It's on the mind, isn't it? It's on a newspaper clipping. We did 101 Dalmatians.
Oh wow! Are you in that?
Yep. What you can see here. This is in the newspaper.
You're the one who's not dressed as a Dalmatian.
And the reason for that is
were you the dad?
I went up to no, you can see the parents in the background of like in the play.
Where's Cruella de Vil?
No idea. But the thing is, right, the reason now I went up to Mrs. Tucker, who was the headmistress, and said, Mrs. Tucker, I'm not in the school play. She goes, oh, are you not? I go, no, I'm not in the school play. And in my mind, I think I can remember her sort of pretending to be concerned about this. I'm not in school play. She said, well, we'll create a role for you. And give an inch, take an inch.
Give an inch, take a mile.
Give an inch, take an inch. But they create this role of me. I was supposed to introduce the chapters of the thing.
Like a narrator.
Yeah. And what eventually happened was, on the first practice, it was me going, chapter 1, the big house, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
On the day of the performance, I had a cymbal. I had the, the dream music things.
Like a xylophone.
The drum.
Tingly bells. Yeah.
Like a snare drum, I think. I had instruments
An
with
array.
me. And I was, every time I would say, like, chapter 1 at the big house, I did lots of funny voices. But lots of funny voices within one sentence. So it'd be, chapter 1 at the big house. And all this kind of, right? And it's, in hindsight, if you were one of the parents and you're there to see your little kid doing 101 Dalmatians,
and then you come
and
out.
then it's I'm constantly at the side on an elevated thing, right? So you've got like you've come to see your kids do 101 Dalmatians, but it's been completely taken over by this kid at the side going, chapter 5. Also, the thing is, I kept forgetting where I was supposed to come in, so I would interrupt scenes. So there's this bit where they're doing the long walk. You know the dogs calling out?
Yeah.
There's this bit where the dog's calling out, and they had the kids around the room, the dogs calling out. And it's supposed to be like one big sequence, but I kept interrupting it with the cymbal. So it'd be like, aru, aru, bang, wallop, chapter 6. And you can see there's a picture here now. It's got everyone. And
you got to be right at the front of the photo.
I didn't get to be right at the front. I got right to the front. I was a right little shit.
I was on the front page of the Hazelmere Gazette once because I was in prison. There's a picture of me behind bars on the front page of the Hazelmere Gazette, and I was 4.
Goodness me. What were you in prison for?
Oh, we were just visiting the prison. It was a school trip. I had a story about school, right, that I was going to do. Firstly, we mentioned Oliver Mallon. I saw him on Friday, and now he's doing children's parties, and he does the Ghost Bus tour. I just thought people might be interested to know what he's up to now. But secondly, this was a story because I was going through all this stuff, and then I had a flashback to an event that happened at Hotham when I was at school in Hotham. And I've told this story to people before, and they've told me that I make sense after they've heard this story. I don't know what that means.
Go on then.
But we were at some sort of adventure playground for the weekend. I
tried listening to a Marillion album to see if that would help you make sense.
Did it? Did it help you?
I tell you what, it consolidated my confusion. If that comes any closer to understanding someone.
I think they're in the top 2 bands of all time.
Who's the other one?
Supertramp.
We haven't seen that band yet.
But no, so we were at this sort of adventure event. It was like a school trip for a weekend to this adventure camp. Yeah. So you do abseiling and all this kind of thing. I was about 6 or 7, I can't remember. And we did fencing, and to this day my brother still doesn't believe that we did fencing, but we did. And I had a foil, we did all that kind of thing. And then at the end of the first day they said, right, everybody off to the shower block, all of you can go and have a shower. And I was the first to get there, and I thought, I've had showers, I know how to have a shower. So took off all my clothes, went into the communal shower block, and started having a shower. Everyone else then files in after me, all wearing little trunks. Every single one wearing little trunks. So I'm stood there in the corner, completely naked, and I go, "Oh, you're all wearing trunks." And they all point at me and go, we can see you. They would have said Willie at the time, because we were children. So we can see you, Willie. I just turned round, try and cover myself, and then they were, now we can see your bum. And literally about 20 people in a room in trunks, with water falling, laughing at me in the corner, saying, laughing at my naked body. And as if to make it worse, that was traumatic enough. I tried to get over it. And then a couple of weeks later, I was in the school toilets going for a wee, and there was a long queue for the urinal, and it was getting near to the end of break, and I thought, I don't want to waste time here. And you know, I was really up against it for the time. So halfway down the queue, I just took my trousers and pants down, and then stood there, just like that, in the middle of the queue, and just waited and queued up like that, like with nothing on. And then everyone again pointed and laughed at me and were like, "What are you doing? Why have you taken your trousers and pants off?" And I said, "I'm trying to save time so I can go for a wee quickly when I get there, so I don't have to waste time taking my trousers and pants off." And on those two separate occasions, just people laughing at my naked self. And I think that's come to inform a lot.
Do you know what? Actually, yeah. Yeah, no, actually, yeah. Yeah. Do you know what? I went, and it was a girl's birthday drinks that we went to.
Yeah.
And for some, this is my delusion. I went there, and there was like a bunch of open micers, which is what I am, right?
Oh, this. Oh,
yeah.
right.
I'm like a, what's it? Like a high-level open micer. It sounds like a fucking. What's that mean? I don't even. But do you know what I mean? Like, I get paid work every now and then. But I do a lot of free gigs as well. Yeah, I'm not exactly. Who the fuck am I? You know. Yeah. But this is my delusion. Because I went to this girl's. There was like, you know, comics there. Yeah. And I thought like these, you know, 1 year in open micers were just going to crowd around me.
You thought they were lucky to have you there.
Yeah. I thought it was like, okay, I'll make an appearance. The delusion in that.
You started giving them unsolicited advice.
I'd do that anyway. I give that to people who've been doing it for 30 years.
That's fun drinks.
Well, no, it's one of them. Like, I don't like the fact that you sense someone has a bad attitude. They do have a bad attitude, and then you call them on it, and then you're mean.
Yeah. Who did you say had a bad attitude?
Do you know what? That's very much my side of the story. And that's why I won Prick of the Year.
What else have we got to... Do you want to hear a story I wrote?
Yes.
Okay, so in school we were told we had to write a story about a particular emotion. We could choose any emotion from the whole gamut of emotions. This was in year 5. So they said, go out there, write me something about an emotion that you've experienced. This is a story I wrote on the 20th of March called Disappointment. That's the emotion I chose. It was Saturday and the sun was shining. I was going to have a day out with Dad. He and my stepmother, Jennifer, had promised to buy me a Lego toy. But first, we were going to have a day at the Tower of London. At the tower, we saw the ravens, the crown jewels, and the many torture instruments. It was all very interesting, but I couldn't stop thinking about the toy. When we finally returned to Putney, it was dark. I raced my brother to the toy shop in Lacey Road. I was really excited. However, my excitement, that's emotion 1, turned to disappointment, the key emotion of the story, as I saw the shopkeeper put a closed sign in the window. Dad pleaded with the shopkeeper to let us in. To my relief, he persuaded the shopkeeper to let us in for a minute. I was so relieved and happy. I ran towards the shelves of Lego toys and grabbed the Lego shark submarine. I loved holding it so much. I couldn't bear to put it on the counter to pay for it. We paid and went out. I stared at the toy. I couldn't wait to open it and build it. And then I've put, and that story has lingered in my mind ever since the day it happened. I wrote that 3 years after it happened. Like it haunted me.
That's amazing. I could have been a great poet.
Could you?
Yes. And I'll prove
wait,
it
let me
now.
find
I've got to tell you,
Patch
when
well.
I went to Hampton Court Gardens with my mum when I was about 7, and there was one. It was a rose bush, right, and it seemed to have this exotic, like almost passion fruit, sui generis sticking out, right? Flower.
Sui generis. Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, singular. I'm saying.
Right.
heteroptenous. Is it alloctonous or heteroptenous? Who knows? For another time, we'll do lexophilia next week. And it's sticking out. And I said to my mum, that looks like a dragon flower thing, like, you know, it probably was. I said, and then I went home and I wrote my first poem called "There's a Dragon in My Rose Bush," which was not an allegory for venereal disease or anything like that. It was "There's a Dragon in My Rose Bush," and I can only remember the first verse of it, first stanza, and I just want. Right,
yeah. No, I'm listening.
I was 7 when I came up with this, and it was the first bit of poetry I ever wrote. There's a dragon in my rose bush, but it doesn't breathe fire, and while the roses are dying, it refuses to expire.
Whoa!
Right now, there's 3 other things. Right, I wrote that, which is kind of like scary. But and there's something. I used a word called. I used scour. I'd used words I hadn't even used before in this poem. Right, but then I couldn't repeat the high. It was like heroin. It was like literally I was chasing the dragon, because thereafter, every time I tried to write a poem, I couldn't get back to that thing of that
lightning in a bottle. Isn't
so my second poem was "There's a bar in my bathtub."
There's a bar in your bathtub.
I fucked that. I really fucked that up. There's a bear in my bathtub, right? And it's probably the shittest poem ever written. And I couldn't get back to it. I could never get back to it. That thing of being a poet, right?
Yeah. There's a bear in my bathtub.
I could have been a poet, but the thing is, I really peaked too soon.
Yeah.
Because I wrote that, and then 7 years later, I was learning guitar and I was trying to write songs, and I found some of my lyrics, right? And there's one page that when I was 14, I wrote a song called "Hash of Things," which I thought was a very clever punny title, and the lyrics are just "Don't fade away," brackets X, infinity.
Infinity.
That is the ultimate atrophy. We could, Joz, this country could have had a great poet, but you've got me.
Thanks for listening to the WhatNot podcast. We're on iTunes, SoundCloud and YouTube, so listen to us there, and please remember to comment, rate and subscribe. Thank you for listening, and I hope you have a beautiful day wherever you are.